Hello. Not to be too controversial here, but welcome to Swim Fans.
Whoa. Slow down, man.
Not to raise any hackles, but once again, this is your erotic thriller podcast for the week. Please don't hit Craig again.
No, please don't. No. I can't. I'm already concussed enough as it is. I can't take it.
We have Craig on one of those one of those dunk tank things at carnivals, but instead of water, it's just like rocks.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the listeners got to get their grumpies out.
Yeah. Every time you say libidinal, someone gets to take a shot.
Yeah, that's all right. It's all right. It builds character, is what I'm told.
Yeah, they say that where your bone breaks, it regrows the strongest. So by that logic,
my femur is 5 times as strong as a normal femur in that case.
Yeah, you're just fucking Wolverine over here. Yeah, hello and welcome to Swim Fans. I am your co-host, macho slut, Josh McKenzie.
Oh, God. I'm Ed Harris's weave. I'm Craig Neeson.
I'm Shazang Alex Hawking.
This week on the show, we are talking 2024 rose glass film, Love Lies Bleeding. Okay, so if you haven't seen Love Lies Bleeding, the movie stars Kristen Stewart. She is her name is Lou. She manages a gym in sort of like a rural part of New Mexico. And right up at the top, we have sort of this loose sketch of Lou's family. There's her sister Beth, played by Jenna Malone, and she is somebody Lou cares for a lot, but she's in an abusive relationship with her husband. As well, there's Beth's husband, JJ, who works for Lou's father. I think his name is also Lou. I think they're both named Lou. Elder Lou, played by Ed Harris, is sort of like the patriarch of this family, and he seems to have some sort of like weapon smuggling black market job. So, they exist in sort of this uneasy piece there altogether. And then our second protagonist here, played by Katie O'Brien, her name is Jackie, and she is a bodybuilder. She rolls into town, and she's homeless. She, right at the start of the movie, hooks up with JJ in order to get a job working for Lou Sr. at the gun range that he owns. But she meets Lou when she goes to Lou's gym. So right away, like kind of like sparks fly. They're like instantly attracted to each other. And Jackie says, "Hey, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Vegas. I'm going to win this bodybuilding competition, and my life will unfold from there." So Lou's like, "Hey, I got just the thing," and she brings her out like a crate of steroids, anabolic steroids, to make her bigger. And pretty much right away, Lou and Jackie begin hooking up. We have like a montage where they begin to fall in love. We learn that Lou's mother is missing, supposedly. She doesn't speak to her father. She has an uneasy relationship with her sister because her husband's abusive, all of that, which kind of comes to a head when Jackie and Lou go on like a double date with JJ and Beth. It's clear that he's hit Beth again, and he is not shy about telling Lou that he and Jackie had already had sex before they knew each other. So Lou's very upset about this. She has like a big fight with Jackie, and it just really reveals how much she hates him. And then sort of the big inciting incident of the movie, Beth is injured so severely by JJ that she's put into the hospital. And now Jackie, who is sort of feeling the effects of these steroids and seeing Lou's distress over her sister being hospitalized, Jackie drives to JJ's house and like beats his face in with a coffee table. Like she like. What's it called when you curb stomp somebody with your hand? You know what I mean? Like, she.
I don't think there's a word for that, Josh.
So she does that move to him until he is dead. Lou is obviously terrified, but not unhappy about it. So she's like, "All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get rid of the body." Importantly, as Lou and Jackie are driving the body and JJ's car to the dump site, Lou is spotted by a girl named Daisy who is trying to pursue Lou, but Lou isn't interested. And Daisy takes sort of note of this encounter. So what we realize here, and sort of through a series of flashbacks, is that this site that Lou is dumping JJ's car and body in is her father's dump site. So whenever he has to like get rid of somebody who could ruin his operation, he puts them here. So that's why she knows about it. But what she does differently is that Lou lights the car on fire, which of course is in the desert. This giant plume of smoke draws attention. Jackie is obviously very distressed. I mean, she just killed a man, and also she is sort of upping her dose of these steroids, and she sort of starts to have these sort of like unreal side effects. Like there's a lot of shots of it like coursing through her body, like her muscles like twitching and like, you know, expanding sort of. She has a big blowout with Lou, and she hitchhikes all the way to Vegas for her competition. Everything is going well. It kind of looks like she's sort of killing it. But then she has like a flashback to killing JJ. She has a flashback to like trauma when she was younger, and she ends up like vomiting on stage. And then like going sicko mode on like another bodybuilding contestant. I don't believe she kills her, but she, you know, obviously assaults her. Lou Sr. bails Jackie out of prison in Las Vegas, brings her back to his house. And meanwhile, like the movie sort of diverges here. Meanwhile, what Lou is doing is that Daisy is more or less blackmailing her. She's like, yeah, it's sort of crazy that like you and that big girl were in JJ's car. Like, isn't that so random? But like, I love you though. So she does like emotional blackmail to Lou, and Lou's having to like manipulate her to keep her sort of quiet. But Lou Sr., who's like, I'll take care of it. Here's what you have to do. He gets Jackie to also kill Daisy. So Jackie goes to Lou's house, kills Daisy, thinks that Lou and Daisy were sleeping together. So she, again, sort of freaks out and runs away. There's like an extended bit where Lou has to like hide the body from the FBI. That's sort of fun. And then so in like the final movement of the movie, Lou goes to her father's house. This is like the final big set piece to save Jackie. She runs into her sister, and her sister has found out that it is Lou and Jackie who killed her husband. So like there seems to be this like very final break between sisters. You know, she's like, even though he beat me, he was still my husband. And Lou's like, oh, you actually suck so much. I love you, but you suck so much. Lou and Jackie like sort of fight it out until they sort of reconcile a little bit. Lou and Lou Sr. have their final showdown because Lou Sr. is like, you revealed my information to the cops. They're coming down on me. I know you did this on purpose. I'm sorry. I absolutely have to kill you. It's implied that Lou Sr. did the same thing to Lou's mother when they were younger. So she's not missing. She has been killed because she was going to talk. But as the movie sort of gets more and more surreal, Jackie turns into a giant and does Shazang to Lou Sr. So she like holds him down by his arms, like if you were going to like pin a butterfly to like a board. And Lou is supposed to shoot him, but she can't do it. So in the final scene of the movie, Lou Sr. has been presumably arrested. Lou and Jackie are driving to California as their plan was. Daisy's corpse is still in the back of the truck, and the corpse moves. Jackie is asleep. Lou sees the corpse move. She stops the car and strangles Daisy to death while Jackie sleeps, sort of solidifying their devotion to each other. What do we think about Love Lies Bleeding?
I picked this. I didn't know anything about it other than people seemed to like it, and it had Kristen Stewart in it, and it seemed like there was sex and danger. So if that's not a Swim Fans movie, I don't know what is. This is a lot of fun. I think the prevailing takeaway that I have is that it's a really, really good time. With like kind of like having seen it and kind of like palming it over in my hand, like a lot of things, a couple things I don't like about it, but it's like nitpicky things. I think the relationship between Kristen Stewart and other girl is fantastic. I mean, there's so many like beautifully evocative images of like fucking cigarettes that Kristen Stewart is just inhaling throughout the film. Mixed with egg yolk, the kind of like dripping of like milk down like Jackie's throat. Yeah, I mean, stylistically, it has a lot going for it. Cinematography is very beautiful. It does like at moments like lean into the kind of dream sequence Panos Cosmatos slash like Nicholas Winding Refn gel stuff, which is like actually kind of successful. Like Ed Harris is like appropriately disgusting in the film. I don't know that we've ever seen an Ed Harris so like abject. Like so
And also
so
kind
just
of like really scary.
and then yeah, genuinely scary. Like he feels, you know, like he's capable of, you know, one's like the what's established like visually and through the way that, like Ed Harris like carries himself is, you know, the kind of like friction of why daughter and father don't get along, right? Because they don't end up talking like one on one until Jenna Malone's character is beaten, right? But like even though we're seeing like them in their respective realms, it's like, oh right, you know, they wouldn't. This character is a monster, and how she's describing him is accurate. Just because, you know, Ed Harris is playing that character so well, and he's styled so well. Yeah, like ultimately, like its eccentricities, I think, land. I do love when Jackie, you know, is kind of like molting from the inside, and her muscles are kind of like bulging spontaneously. You know, the ending where she becomes a giant is like it works. It feels silly, and it feels like it in like different contexts like it shouldn't work, but it definitely does. But yeah, I think this film's center force of gravity, the relationship between the two leads, is really wonderful. And I kind of wish there were more of it. I mean, the movie does give you a lot of it, but it's so good that like I want more domestic, like equilibrium before it's kind of like snatched away from them, if that makes sense. But yeah, like it's a fun fucking movie, and we can get to my like nitpicks later. But yeah, I thought this was pretty fantastic.
I loved this. It is really gorgeous. It's sexy. It's funny and weird without kind of losing its seriousness, which is like a really quality balancing act. I like its small town setting. Ed Harris is appropriately scary. I like that he runs like a down home arms dealer or arms transporting syndicate. I think that's really fun. I kind of wish they went a little more into that, but loved the leads, thought they had great chemistry. I loved that they kind of lean into all the muscle stuff. Like, I think that's like, it has like a really kind of like unique texture that way. Because I was also picking up on like the Panos Cosmatos influence and the I don't know, this the fingerprints of other filmmakers, but I think it ultimately did kind of like come together as something new. I can't believe I chose to watch the other lesbian crime movie from the same month when I watched Drive Away Dolls, because this one was way better.
What the fuck is Drive Away Dolls?
That was the Coen, one of the Coen brothers made a lesbian crime movie.
Did they flop?
I don't think it did very well, but what's her face from The Substance is in it? Margaret Qualley.
Oh, Stan. Okay.
I mean, that movie's not as good as this one. This one had a lot more going on in it, but they're both very like American lesbian crime stories, I guess.
When I think lesbian stories, I definitely think Coen brothers.
Did you Joel and Ethan Coen are my favorite lesbian influencers.
Okay, well, so did you know that Ethan Coen is married to a lesbian?
What?
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Okay.
That was like the whole thing of them making that movie, because like supposedly she's not like bisexual, she's a lesbian, but they've been married for like 30 years or something.
That's sweet and strange.
They have a really weird relationship, and it eventually evolved into not Love Lies Bleeding, Drive Away Dolls, which is not a very good movie. I think the story of their relationship was more that I read about, because there's like some write-up in some entertainment magazine around the time it came out. I think that was more interesting than that movie.
Full of surprises, those brothers.
But I like this a lot.
Yeah, I saw this in theaters when it came out last year. I saw it with the girly Steve Yurko. I love this. Okay, so this was. I mean, I like Craig. I have some reservations. So like when I was doing my top 10 list of 2024, This was like 11 or 12, because like I think there's a few things this movie does like superbly. Like it's so fucking hot. Okay, I think I might be in the top 1% of gay people. You know what I mean? But like, Kristen Stewart is so fucking hot.
She's
Katie
gorgeous
O'Brien
in
is
this.
so
Yeah.
fucking hot.
Yeah.
It's really crazy. And like the sex in this is so fucking good. It's shot so erotically. And the violence in this is so awesome. Like the JJ set piece is great. When Daisy gets iced is great. When they Shazang Ed Harris is pretty great. There's just so much like sex and violence to love, which makes me sound like a psychopath, but I am a primate with a primate's brain. And all of that really works for me. I do think, I don't know, the narrative isn't bad. So like I'm trying to figure out because I had this problem in theaters that like on paper, this is like a 4.5 star movie for me. It looks beautiful. The lead actresses are insane. The sex is great. The violence is great, but there is like something about it that like keeps me a little bit at a distance, and I don't know what it is. Maybe we can struggle session our way through it to see if we can figure it out. But like, there is something in here in both of my viewings that sort of keeps me from being like, oh yeah, this is incredible. But that being said, I mean, like Rose Glass, I'm not familiar with her filmography, but I will watch any movie that she makes after Love Lies Bleeding, because this one is so impeccably made. This is the kind of movie that I'm pointing to when I'm like, gay men, we have got to get more interesting. I'm begging you to turn into a creature. There has to be more sex and violence, please. I don't want to hear another weepy. You can't get a better weepy love story than Wong Kar-wai. All right, so do the opposite instead. You can't top his ability to yearn.
No, only fools have tried.
Only fools have tried. So instead, you must lean into depravity. Find it inside of you. No, yeah. I overall I like this, but there is something about it, and I don't know what it is that I don't fully connect with. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's like too much. I'm just gonna spitball. Maybe it's like because there's like a lot of montage in the movie, and I think it's really beautiful montage. Like the especially that first one where Stuart and O'Brien's characters are like getting to know each other, and they have like their like domestic montage. Like it looks great. I just feel like it glosses over a lot.
It's too much shorthand.
Yeah, but also like I do credit the movie for being like start to lesbian sex. You know what I mean? Like no wasted time. So like I think the efficiency is good, but like maybe I don't know, like maybe there's something in here that I wanted to sink my teeth into a little bit more, because I almost feel like you get a little more of Lou's personality when she's talking to Daisy than you do when she's talking to Jackie.
Right.
Because when she's talking to Jackie, it's like expositional, which is important. Like, oh, her mother has disappeared. Her mother's not around anymore. I hate JJ. He beats my sister. I don't talk to my dad. And that's all really important. But like when she's talking to Daisy, it's a lot more like fluff that I think sort of tells me more about her as like a person. Like she's quite wily. Daisy's like clearly not super clever, but like she's like sort of like running circles around her and manipulating her to keep both women out of trouble. I don't know. Maybe like you're saying, Alex, it's just a little too much shorthand in their relationship, so that even when the sex is good, I'm maybe not as invested in the couple. I don't know.
It's interesting. At once, it does a great job of establishing how completely fixated they are on each other physically. And there are moments when they're speaking, like, when they're, when they're like making breakfast or whatever, that are great. But I agree. Like what I want is to see like the beats of the relationship happen, like between the two of them, and not like through like Daisy's weird hostage scenario. Yeah, like if I were to like cut things. I would cut some of like Ed Harris's like that little cop lackey that he has or whatever.
Right.
And I would like trim out like some things that I feel like are as like I don't even know how structurally necessary the FBI are. They really only exist in the film to apply that bit of like paranoia, right? It's like they're being watched. There's some kind of like there's that implication that there's something bigger happening. She gets the FBI card in the beginning, and it's like, okay, well, I mean, the movie does eventually establish, okay, Ed Harris has been executing people in the desert for a really long fucking time, and the feds kind of know what he's up to, but they can't really pin him for anything. But the whole, like, there's a secret, there's something happening in this house, and I hope the cops don't find it thing. Like, I wish the movie had more breathing room for what I think is so successful, which again is like the sex, is the relationship. And I mean, again, it tonally balances like in a way that feels improbable. Jackie turns into a giant, but the relationship feels very grounded and very like full in a way. The way that they, through like miscommunication or like through hearing from other people, when Lou learns that Jackie had sex with the freak domestic abuser, it's not like that, but like, the way that the relationship kind of like fractures. Like, I feel like it's like a little too, there's like shorthand, like in the fracture, and then in the kind of reconciliation, there's shorthand. And some of Jackie's behavior, I feel like, doesn't fully gel. Like when they've like tripped each other on the tennis court, and Jackie's like kind of like about to ice Lou with the gun. I'm like, why you still got your defenses up? Like the whole like, Lou perceives Jackie as potentially using her for a place to stay, and so on and so forth. Jackie perceives Lou as cheating with Daisy, whose teeth are frightening, and maybe one of the better like makeup costuming things, because every time Daisy is just around, I feel kind of rankness, like a deep just horror at those teeth. But yeah, that like miscommunication between the two feels like a very deep fracture. But then suddenly it's like Jackie tries to kill Lou over it, which like her deteriorating mental state over the increasing use of steroids like makes sense. But like, yeah, I don't know. I wish this movie were like a little more. I don't know how to say it. Like I guess I want more screen time with the two leads together. Is basically what this boils down to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't really have a big problem with the shorthand while I was watching it. But now that you guys mention it, it is kind of like, there is like a simmering tension between the two of them that's not like fully explored. It's just kind of told to you once, of like them kind of, I don't know, stay here. No, like there's motions towards something, but maybe not like developed fully. But for the most part, it didn't really bother me. I think they do a really good job of like establishing really like economically as well, like Kristen Stewart's like life before Jackie shows up, and it's like one of stasis and monotony, and I can absolutely see her just getting swept up into someone like that, like instantly, even though it's not like fully making sense or whatever.
For sure.
Just like living in a small town, you're a gay woman, and there's one other gay woman there, and you hate her. And like that's
I can
really,
relate.
Oh my
like
God.
kind of an amazing dynamic of like, and I love that ending too. I kind of actually, my main problem is I think the ending is probably too clean, but I love where it lands of like, she wakes up in the truck, and and Kristen Stewart goes back there, and she's alive, and she's like, "No, there's no queer solidarity here. You're annoying, and I'm getting rid of you." And like that rules.
Yeah. Your crime is that you pissed me off.
Yeah. You're just too annoying.
Yeah. Yeah, truly.
Yeah, that's sort of what I'm running up against, because like I don't think there is like a solution, because like a lot of this I think is just like a me problem. Like
Yeah.
like you, Alex, I also, as much as I wish we had more like bespokeness to the relationship, I do admire the film's efficiency. Like it starts it introduces everybody in like 8 minutes, and you have a pretty working idea of everybody. And like you said, Kristen Stewart's day-to-day life, you understand, you know, Beth is like barely holding it together with her abusive shithead husband. Like, yeah, you really do get like the great, and that's hard to do, you know, to give
Yeah,
everyone a
yeah,
clear
yeah.
picture of what's going on in such a short amount of time. So like, you know, it's hard to like be prescriptive about this. I think maybe because as much as like because we get more time with Lou because she has her thing with Daisy, but like I don't know, I don't even want to say this because I don't even know if it would help, but like if we understood Jackie a little better, maybe we would understand when her emotions are unpredictable. Like I know that she ran away from home or was kicked out, and that she used to be fat and then got into bodybuilding. And that's kind of it. Like she calls home that one time, and I wish that moment hit a little harder, and maybe I would if they had like told or like showed me something about that relationship.
Something about that having like no context before or after it was a little like underwhelming or something.
Yeah. And you know, yeah, maybe there was a little bit of too much plot here. They could have like done a little less Ed Harris crimes and a little more girl talk. Could have helped. But yeah, but it's hard to be prescriptive because, you know, I also value the efficiency. So I don't know. It's a tough puzzle, this movie.
Yeah, I'm thinking about how the references to other filmmakers. I mean, I think the most explicit one is David Lynch. No, where the diner's literally called Winkies,
Right.
and they reference it several times. And at one point they talk about Winkies. Oh, it's when they're about to drive off into the desert with the body, the two cars, Lou's truck and the Camaro or whatever the hell it's like, no, I'll meet you at Winkies tomorrow. And then it immediately cuts to the most Lost Highway ass
Right.
David Lynch highway dividing lines. And I was like, okay, you know, like I liked it, and I couldn't decide whether it was if it were. I mean, I know that it doesn't really belong to either of these people, but like, is it Refn or Cosmatos what we're pulling from with these dream sequences? Because I think they're pretty fun. Like one thing that I think doesn't quite gel with me in the ending specifically is that Ed Harris brings up this idea. I think the film brings up this idea like on its own, just like on a basic like Greek fucking play nature. So that there's a father at the top, and he's fucking bad, and you got to kill the father. Like the father is like the fundamental like oppressing thing that you need to either like cleave off or like get crushed underneath. And you know, Ed Harris says something to the effect of, you know, you're more like me than you think, which I think is meant to in a way give us kind of insight into what Lou will do at the end in order to you know, continue on with her relationship with Jackie, which is just throttle Daisy, and then, you know, drag her corpse into the desert. I kind of wish like Refn does like a really good job of that, and I hate to like talk about Refn, but like Refn does a great job of establishing, especially like in Only God Forgives, where like this like maternal figure is like is suffocating the Gosling character. Like he can't escape her, and you have this figure that like totally embodies the law, like the Thai policeman, you know, who's cutting people's arms off. But that idea of Lou kind of like dethroning the father, but actually like in some way possessing characteristics of the father, because in the dream sequence flashbacks, it's revealed to us that Lou has murdered people for her father. You know, has shot people and you know, pushed them into the little gorge there.
And like including her mother. Like, I mean, I feel like every time she says her mother's missing, she's just like actively denying it.
Right. As though she she knows very well what happened, but she maybe doesn't want to know what she knows.
Right. Which is great. I love that bit.
Yeah. Oh no, I think it's fantastic. And yeah, I think there's something about like the dethroning of the father and the like continuation of the relationship that doesn't quite like Alex's summation of the ending sequence. It's like a little too clean.
Yeah.
And I wish like in some way the threads were a little bit clearer or something. Because otherwise I feel like I'm meeting the movie like way more than halfway when I'm talking about this like killing the father, like dethroning shit. Because I know that it wants it, but I don't know that it's like particularly clear. You know?
Yeah, I think that this movie may have done better with me personally if it had like a kind of a downer ending or like a downbeat ending. It isn't, I don't know, they don't need to die or whatever, but like everything in it is so like, I don't know. We see her struggle with again stasis, just the her life crushing her at every turn, and then like it all kind of like swirls into this like it keeps getting worse and worse, and I don't know, her roided out girlfriend is like puking and like punching people and like kills a woman, and for it to just be like, and they got away. It feels like I don't know, like it's not the same movie. It feels like an ending to a different movie, kind of.
Right, like if their like relationship, which the dynamics aren't like fully resolved, right? Like where there's like jealousies and insecurities, which of course are heightened by the fiction and the stakes of the film, where like it gives an indication that like, I don't know, in some way the it's not perfect. Right, that they're going to continue to kind of like lance at each other, but it is like, even though the throttling to death of Daisy does kind of like wipe the slate clean in a way, it's like wipe the slate clean while also kind of revealing that like like Lou has the capacity to kill, but that's not particularly like new information for us. They both have it. You know, it's not like, I don't know. Like you said, like the relationship is suddenly going to be healthy now. It's kind of like what the movie kind of gives you. They have the cat, they have the truck, and they're heading off into that great blue. Like even Thelma and Louise knows well enough to like not give you know, like
that was Ridley Scott.
Yeah, exactly. World's luckiest filmmaker. You know, like just like
world's most guessingest filmmaker.
But boy, did he just like pick like 56 black at the roulette wheel once, and get it totally fucking right. I don't know, just that idea that the relationship would be something that's like. Because, like, I feel like what's, like, solid ground, like, what feels, like, the most, like, human or something in terms of the otherwise, like, cartoonishness of the film is the relationship. So the fact that the relationship suddenly gets or, like, gestures towards the kind of cartoonish ending, like, doesn't, like, sit particularly, like, it doesn't square, really. Yeah.
I promise I'm not being contrary on purpose. I really love the ending. I think it has like for me, it has like a wryness to it where, you know, there's this sort of a bleak comedic moment to, Lou being like, God forgive me, I'm back to the old me, and she sighs heavily and has to like ice this girl in the back of her truck. I love that the camera holds while she sits there and smokes a cigarette in the far distance. We're just leaving this corpse in the open air for anybody to drive past and find.
I like that scene. I like that scene isolated, but it just doesn't. I don't know. They need to lose something.
Yeah, I think maybe that could have been made up in like the sort of the climax of the movie if the movie was more about them and less about the Ed Harris crime syndicate. Because like I think the ending has a great pulpy quality to it. I think it has sort of like the bite to it that the previous movie had. in terms of like things being kind of grimy, as grimy as they are sexy, like as ugly as they are beautiful. You kind of it seems like a recurring motif to me throughout the movie. So I think the ending has that, but because of the movie's efficiency to establish everything, and because of the movie's sort of briskness to be like, okay, these are the girls, this is the family, this is the crime syndicate, lesbian sex, which maybe we could have had more of. Even why not more of it?
Yeah.
Yes, there was an extended scene where Katie O'Brien jerks off in front of Kristen Stewart. Maybe that happened again. I don't know. I'm just spitballing. Why not?
That scene was so hot, man.
Yeah, I'm like, why not? But like, if the movie had sort of centered a little more on them, and obviously, I still want them to do murder. I still want them to do crimes. I still want Jackie to have roid rage and go sicko mode on that poor contestant. All of that stuff is great. I just want it to be like about them more and Ed Harris less.
Right.
I guess. And then I think there could have been room for the ending to maybe have that quality that you're looking for. Because like as it is, I think it's a good ending.
Yeah, I think it might be a me problem. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying not to pick on it too much because like overall I really like the movie. It's just like I was trying to think about what it. I mean I said this earlier, but I was like, why don't I love it more? It has everything that I love.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little less Ed Harris maybe.
Yeah.
And I love Ed Harris. He's awesome.
Yeah, me too. Like the scenes that bothered me, or the kind of, I don't know why we need to know that like he has a dirty cop in on with it. Like that to me is that feels extraneous. Like Ed Harris is menacing enough. Like even without like the establishing that he has lackeys. I don't need him to have lackeys. I just need him to be him.
I know he's got lackeys. I can look at him and I can tell he's got lackeys.
He's got lackeys. Yeah, the worst kind.
Just
and like
put a guy in a balaclava, it would have been just as fine.
Like I mean, the moment that's I feel like is the most frightening with the Harris character is when he's showing Jackie how to shoot. Like it's like he's getting like really close to her and he's like guiding her hand and showing her how to shoot, and he's like whispering into her ear, and I'm just like, like that scene. I want to like Ed, no, Ed, stop. I think maybe this film underestimated how like powerful Ed could be just alone. The fact that like the moments where like Kristen Stewart is defiant on the phone with him. He's like, "Are you threatening me? Are you going to reveal this stuff? Are you threatening me?" And Kristen Stewart, it's actually very. I love it's quite a pause, and she says, "Yes, I am threatening you." But then it cuts back to Ed Harris. Ed Harris is summoning the crooked cop. He kind of just gestures with his head, like, "Go get her," and it's like, okay, but. Do we need like I really hate to hone in on this character, but I don't know why we need it.
Well, because there's so much menace in that line when he's like, "That was really stupid, honey," which is such a good mixture of like his conflict between being a dad who, despite being a piece of shit, the movie takes pains to show that he cares about both of his daughters, but also he's a crime lord. So when he's like, "That was really there's so much like there in that line.
Yeah.
And honestly, you might have been able to cut all of the Jenna Malone stuff.
Right.
If I'm honest with you, like you like JJ could have been any piece of shit. If we wanted a movie that was more about Jackie and Lou, which might fix it for me, might not. I'm really trying not to be too prescriptive here. But if you wanted to make it more about them, like to even lose that plot line might have been helpful.
Yeah. Yeah,
the only thing I think you would lose is Kristen Stewart's motivation for staying in the town, which is repeatedly told to you that it's just for her
as
a way to sort of like force her to be here.
Right.
But she could also just live there. I don't know.
Right.
I would have
Yeah, yeah,
accepted
she
that.
she could live there. I mean, it's clear that like she's not. I mean, especially because she's cut her dad out of her life. If she was more financially solvent, she probably wouldn't work at the worst gym in America.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, like being broke as fuck can be a reason, right? Being dependent on your father who owns the gym can be reason enough. And Jenna Malone's character, when I saw her name in the credits, I was smiling like that fucking the fucking Jack Nicholson nodding gif. Where
Yeah.
I'm like Neon Demon, baby. I'm like, I'm taking
She's
a blood bath.
Can't wait for her to eat somebody in this one. That's so...
Yeah, and like her performance is good. Like, don't get me wrong, she's great in everything that she's in. But that character is like she's
could have
she's
been anyone.
only abused woman. That's it.
Yeah.
Like that's her only function. That's her only like defining characteristic is that she's an abused woman that she's torn between her abuser and someone that wants to protect her from the abuser. And then, well, I guess Ed Harris is kind of like negligent in not wanting to do shit about the situation. So he's kind of involved in that like triad. She's defined through relief or something. Like she doesn't get to be a character in the proper sense. She gets to be a punching bag for one. She gets to be an object that Kristen Stewart feels that she needs to save, and then something where an absentee father is neglecting. So she doesn't get to be a thing, and like I don't know if I'm like fully okay with that or something.
Well, because I really like the moment where instead of like having a sort of like moment where she's like, oh wow, you're right, he did suck, she's like where it like ends their relationship more or less, where like Malone is like so husband pilled, even though he was a monster, that she's like, how could you fucking do that was my husband, like where I like that. I think that's a great human reaction to have, but it was a lot to get there. Like it was a lot of the runtime to get there.
Right, and that's the first time like Malone really gets to act in a way. Like that's her big moment, the big moment of like how could you do that? Where like the Stockholm syndrome of being in an abusive relationship is sketched out. It's even beyond the death of the abuser. Still wants the abuse back in some kind of perverse way. It's grotesque. It's like a very grotesque sequence, and I do love, even though it's like brutal and it's not pleasant or particularly polite, and doesn't handles in a way that feels like I don't know how to say this, grittier, less palatable. Because like I think the impulse for like a lot of cinema and fiction and so on is to like, you successfully jump over Bowser to knock the bridge out from under him so he can burn to death. For Princess Peach to then be like, thanks, dude, right? And it's like, and this movie is brave enough to be like, oh, that actually didn't solve her problem. I mean,
because she didn't take the steps. Yeah,
right. And like, and even Lou's reaction to the reaction, which is to take Jenna Malone by the face where her wounds are, and be like, okay, I've had frankly quite enough of you. Tell me where my girlfriend is. Like, she, like Lou suddenly is like, okay, fuck it. Like,
yeah,
like I'm gonna cause you, like, I'm literally going to take the wounds that you sustain from your abusive relationship, and I'm gonna make them hurt more, so you can give me what I want. Which again is like a really fascinating and like not particularly endearing of an act that Lou does. For like us, the audience, right? Like, like that's not very chill, or something. Yeah. I mean, I wish there were a way to arrive at it without like some of the extraneous things I feel like are extraneous. Yeah, it's a slow burn, and once that like bridge is crossed, it's just done. The relationship with the sister has ended, and there's still like 15 or 20 more minutes of the film left, and that was like that was like the inciting incident, right? Like that's why the douchebag had to get his face crushed in. I don't know. Yeah, like I'm trying to like problem solve something that like I fundamentally like don't know how to problem solve. But that all that to say is like all of these things that I'm saying and thinking like right now, I didn't really think them while I was watching it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's something that like when I was kind of palming the film over later in my mind, I'm like, oh, okay, all right. But like it really, I mean, the movie does a fantastic job of again, through its pacing, through its colors, through its cinematography, like really carry you. I don't think this movie lost my interest for a single second, right? So it's not to say that like just upon reflection, I'm kind of like making trouble a little bit, like in my head, but I mean it's not necessarily a mark against the film, really.
Yeah. Well, and also, like, I want to be so clear, like, pound for pound, you're not going to find better pussy eating footage in
No. Like,
Gaspar Noé couldn't do it this good.
No.
Friend of the pod, Dana, once texted me out of the blue and was like, how do you feel about blue as the warmest color? And I was like, like this isn't my first rodeo with like depictions of like gay sex or specifically lesbian sex on film. It's good though, and I feel like anyone that's like ever
shout
been
it out when you see it. Good job,
right? Like in this way, like that moment where like Kristen Stewart, like like show me what you do. No. You're not showing me what you do. Show me what you do. Like when she's just like so down bad, it's like there's a moment of like, of course I've never been in that type of relationship, but I've been in that type of scenario, and game respects game because I've also been a depraved little shit like that.
Yeah.
Like that's so real. It's so fucking real.
Yeah, and there's nuance to the lust,
Yeah.
like the scene where Jackie is doing like pull-ups and she falls, and so like Kristen Stewart is like sucking on her toe. When they're in the bathroom and she's like worshiping her ass before she makes her like jerk off for her, I'm like, this is a real luster behind this movie, and that's worth its weight in gold.
Exactly.
I see you there. Yep.
Yeah. I see a fellow traveler. I see myself and I see you, and I see that we are one.
Yeah.
So much of these movies, it's just like Michael Douglas getting sucked off in a helicopter, shot wide. Like it's not.
Yeah, joylessly getting blown.
Yeah, like
in the office,
just because they have to, like mandatory nudity, like they're hitting their quotas and stuff. This movie's like, I want to suck on your fucking toes, like you've been working out, you're all sweaty. Let me just fucking suck those piglets or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, whoa, dude. Okay.
Yeah. The government mandated nudity doesn't like it's not even it couldn't be further from this film. Like it like you said, like it's only a matter of time before female like love interest, female like a supporting actress or whatever takes her top off. Like this movie doesn't have that. It's simply about like the deep kinetic magnetic pull of just being down so fucking bad.
Down impossible.
Impossibly bad. Yeah.
A real craving hours. We love to see it.
Like you're drowning and then you hit air. Right.
You
hit like an air pocket, and then you're breathing for your life. Yeah.
Yeah, but instead it's like it's sticking your nose in your girlfriend's like armpit after she's worked out for 3 hours. Like that's what it is, and it's so fucking real for that. I mean, that's I think this movie's like real selling point is how I don't know anything about the actress that plays Jackie, but like I mean, just looking at her, I'm assuming that she did a lot to achieve that physique, which is very, very real, probably for this role. You know, and it's like the Kristen Stewart's character, like, you know, even that idea of like looking across the gym, you know, and she's like impossibly far away, but that kind of like connection between, you know, what Jackie's doing and the kind of like lustful gaze of Kristen Stewart, like it establishes that again. It props the world up, and it props like how like lonely and like how lonely and how matter of fact the down badness would be, right?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't need to do a particular amount of world or character building to establish. I think this is a tribute to the filmmaking and the actresses, where it's just like it's like there.
Yeah.
It's immediately been hoisted up, and it stands like firm and believable and completely understandable on like on a fucking like human level. And I think that's like, if not like commendable filmmaking, it's like impeccable filmmaking, right? To establish that, because that's
these two actresses are just, you know, heaters.
Yeah.
My final note, and I'm not picking on the movie anymore. I think Love Lies Bleeding is a terrible title. It's not evocative of anything in particular. It feels like a fan fiction title. I'm so sorry. It feels like the title of a fanfic. It's just wrong for the movie, in my opinion.
And
just
it's,
me.
Love Lies Bleeding, is that like a colloquialism that I'm just like
I guess.
like,
Sorry.
Because like it feels like an established thing. It feels like a cliche title, right, or something. No.
Yeah. There's a bunch of movies on Letterboxd also named Love Lies Bleeding.
Yeah. It feels too like familiar when this film is actually like very like not. I mean, we've already said that it's taking influences and it's digesting them and mutating them in a way that's very particular and novel. So yeah, like giving it a title that isn't like kind of flat, I think would have been like wise or something.
There is a plant called the Love Lies Bleeding.
Yeah, I just Googled it. There's a flower.
But like,
type of flower.
but like, I don't know. It wasn't worth it.
No, it's not.
Sorry.
No.
I
give it.
I appreciate
something.
the effort, but no.
Yeah.
Let's.
Yeah.
What was your backup? Tell me what your backup was.
Yeah. But that's okay. You know, naming stuff is hard. It's okay.
Yeah. They just didn't want to name it like muscly lesbian sex.
Or
murder.
the book that Kristen Stewart's reading. What's it called?
Macho sluts.
Macho sluts, right? Like
I don't know. Maybe name it Macho sluts.
That would have been better to me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Even though it feels like I beat up on this movie for an hour, I gave this 4.5 stars. I think it's delectable.
Yeah.
4 stars. Yeah, this is good.
Yeah.
We talked a lot of shit, but this is really good.
Yeah. I mean,
Rose Glass, I will see all of your movies, I promise.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's something a little like, you know, we can kind of go down the line and sing like the praises of something, but I think you know, to really truly love something is to acknowledge that there's something not quite here. But this is a fun fucking movie. It's pretty. It's exciting. And if you've not sought it out, seek it out. It's really it's a jaunt.
Oh, she did Saint Maud. I also liked Saint Maud. Okay, I've seen her in title filmography. Never mind.
Is it just 2 movies?
Yeah, it's Saint Maud and Love Lies Bleeding.
I don't.
They're
think
both good.
Yeah, I don't think she's that old.
No, she's
like
our age.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think she's our age.
Thank you, Rose.
Yeah, shouts out.
Do we have any questions?
I don't think so, but I do want to shout out Ross and Yuri for leaving very nice messages on Letterboxd about our hitting episode 300. So shouts out to those two.
Oh yeah, we shared that. Alex shared that screen cap of those very kind messages. Yeah, so anyone that, yeah, thank you. That was very sweet. We love that type of thing more than we could probably explain in words.
Yeah, by the way, if you ever leave us a nice comment, rest assured that one of us sees it and drops it in the group chat. So.
Yeah.
And then we're allotted our daily serotonin, like our brain deposits the, like that little boost. And then we have a little spring in our step for 15 minutes before the horrors come back. So thank you.
It's probably not that dramatic, but we do appreciate it.
Exactly. It's very heartening, and it feels really nice. So thank you.
Okay. Well, you can, as always, find the show wherever you get your podcasts. So you can get it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube. So wherever you do that, please subscribe, please rate, please review. It algorithmically helps other people find the show. We have to keep our spot as the number one source for information all about Lily Choo Choo. I won't lose that throne.
I don't think there's too much competition there.
It's a major part of my self-esteem, and I won't lose it.
There's a perpetual ticker of Google Analytics of Lily Choo Choo traffic. And boy, you hate to see my cage when that shit flatlines on our end.
Yeah, if we drop to number 2, the poison will release into Craig's bloodstream.
My auto feeder
trap.
My auto feeder starts like collecting things that I haven't eaten yet.
It starts dispensing nails into your dish. Please subscribe, please leave comments, all that good stuff. We have a Patreon as well, patreon.com/swimfans. Just to remind everybody, you can subscribe for as little as $1 a month. If you want to support the show beyond that is an option, and we would love that. But as low as $1 a month gives you access to the back catalog of Patreon episodes there. And you can find the show on all the social medias, Instagram, Blue Sky, Letterboxd. That's user SwimFansPod, blueskyswimfanspod.com. And I am available at every social media platform, user Amons, AMONNS. As of recording, I for the great holiday of 420, I watched Smiley Face again. I've seen this movie 600 times, but last night my boyfriend and I got stoned and watched Smiley Face again. There is no better stoner movie, I promise you. It's Anna Faris's funniest role. Yes, I'm counting every Scary Movie. It's so quotable. It's Gregor Rocky. It's his most approachable movie, probably. If you like stoner movies, or if you like a comedy movie, like this or like Mean Girls are probably like my favorite like comedy movies, and like this is probably, if I had to choose one, like I said, I would watch it when the world was ending. So I just picked up the Vinegar Syndrome Blu-ray, so I'm excited to have it on Blu-ray.
It's on sale because we're recording this on 420 at the moment, and I'm tempted.
Yeah, I saw it was like $20 at the slipcover, and I'm like, yeah, what the fuck? I mean, what else am I going to spend $20 on? Alex.
You can follow me online at diatron5.swimfanspod.com. I'm on Letterboxd Diatron. What did I watch? I've mostly just been rewatching stuff. So I rewatched the Christian Slater movie Pump Up the Volume. That's the one from the guy who directed Empire Records, but I think it's way better, about the teenager running a pirate radio station who gives like network style speeches to his fellow teens to motivate them about being teenagers. And then like the evil school is trying to like shut him down because like he's telling the truth too much. He's like a danger to the system.
He's like a proto-influencer.
He's a proto-podcaster.
Hell yeah.
As I said in my Letterboxd review, it's a movie about how podcasting counts as activism.
Well, okay, many people need this.
Yes.
And it's like pretty good. The movie's pretty good. I'd check it out if that sounds like your thing. Craig.
Find me at Craig Neeson on Instagram and Letterboxd, CraigNeeson.com. So I fell off of Succession like a long time ago, around episode 7 of the first season. And thanks to my girlfriend, we picked it back up, and fortunately I remembered everything, and I was able to carry on. And seeing those last 3-4 episodes or whatever, man, I love it. I'm like so back. I'm so back on it. I was just over the moon, like really, like the comedy beats are just so fucking good. And like, again, the idea, the managing of the tone of like severity and like struggle and like the kind of inhuman spaces that they find themselves in, while also being like deeply sharp and cartoonish. It's just such a lovely mix of tone. And I'm very excited to continue. That season finale was a killer.
Who's your favorite, and why is it Kendall?
Oh, Kendall! It's Kendall because he's the perennial fuck up, right? Like
he's baby girl for real.
He's so lost. Like he's the most lost. Like just emblematic of a guy that, like, again, is, like, speaking of like this film, is crushed by like the weight of like his father, crushed by like the weight of the idea of like what he feels like he should be, in pursuit of that thing that he should be. He still somehow ends up not as like the powerful broker, that replaces the father, but is continually knocked down until he's a blithering like child. It's delectable. I'm a Siobhan, first of all, but Kendall is my favorite.
I fear that I'm the Kendall, okay, and you're Siobhan and Alex is Roman.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I do agree with the Roman part. I don't. I
who's
do
Roman?
see myself as.
Roman
Give me
is,
an elevator pitch.
Roman is Kieran Culkin's character. He's like the rascally one.
Yeah, very rascally.
I love Roman. I love Roman. That's a compliment.
Roman is deeply endearing. Deeply endearing. But yeah, I think we all aspire to be Siobhan, in some way.
Yeah.
Anyway, white hot series that no one's heard about, Succession. Folks, jump on it.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.